We're going to continue our discussion. If you watched the first SALT, we were talking about investing in many ventures, and we actually read a Bible verse, Ecclesiastes chapter 11. And these are scriptures I've read since I was a little kid, and I've always seen the investment part in it when I read it. And I also saw where the writer, King Solomon, talked about folly and that all things are meaningless. He was somebody who had many riches, and at the end of the day, he said it was all folly. It was meaningless. And then he also observed people that didn't have anything. At the end of the day, that was meaningless. And his conclusion was to obey God and do what God tell you, but also to enjoy your life and go out and do things. He built for himself, houses and pools and gardens, and he enjoyed that. But at the end of the day, that also was meaningless. And so he wanted to know wisdom, and then he figured out at the end of the day that was meaningless. And he also wanted to know foolishness. He figured out today that was also meaningless. If the clouds are full of water, they pour rain on the earth. Whether a tree falls to the south or to the north, in the place where it falls, there it will lie. Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. Well, that says to me, people who sit around watching for the bad stuff or the stuff that just don't look right. So I'm not gonna go out and try anything. So in this case, this person's where the wind is blowing. I'm not gonna plant today. And we've talked about mavericks before. It's the mavericks who say, I'm gonna go out and plant. That's time. Let me get this planted. Their crop comes up. You didn't plant, you won't have nothing to come up. I remember one time my daddy had me outside painting the fence, and it was just sprinkling a little bit. I thought it was the weirdest thing, but he was right. It didn't mess up the paint, and we got the job done. So you cannot, lazy and fearful people, and I'm not saying per person is both, but either or, it will prevent you from doing great things. Lazy people will always find a reason to be lazy and not go do what they're supposed to do. Fearful people will always find something to be afraid about that'll keep them from getting up and trying. You're watching Millionaire Moves, Steve McBride.